This presidential election year, WANE 15 is partnering with Advancing Voices of Women to present A House Divided, our exclusive panel discussions to help us better understand each other's personal beliefs and differences. All day today, we'll discuss Ruth Bader Ginsburg's life and legacy and possible Supreme Court replacement, plus thoughts on the presidential debates. Join the conversation all day today, only on WANE 15 and WANE.com, your local election headquarters.
Honestly, I think something is going to happen before we see some sort of unity. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I don't see, regardless of what the outcome is, that the other side's just going to accept it. So I'm very cautious about what's going to happen after the election. But I do hope that what can come out of it is eventually some understanding. But honestly, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better.
I think we'll always have some sort of division. That's part of our democratic system. However, I think that people can exercise more grace when realizing that other people have a difference of opinion. And, you know, there's more that unites us than divides us.
I agree with Amanda. I think it's going to take a while. But if we don't have national leaders stoking the problem with incendiary comments and insults, that would really help.
I agree that I think depending on who is elected is going to go a long way to creating more unity or continuing with the division that we've seen in the last several years.
I agree with everyone. I mean, I feel like we are so divided, but it's going to take something big to make us, I don't know that we will ever be completely unified, but as close as we can get, it's going to take something big.
Well, Abby's right. One of the strengths of our system of government is we don't all have to agree. In fact, that keeps us from going too far any one direction most of the time.
And maybe unity is the wrong word for that. Maybe what we're looking for, like Amanda said, was civility and peace. And I understand too that you know, part of the point of protests is to disrupt the peace and call attention to something, but beyond that.
WANE 15 is your local election headquarters. On November 3rd, vote.
And then join us for election results as they come in, on air and on WANE.com.
We'll have live team coverage highlighting the local, state, and national races that impact you with expert analysis throughout the evening.
And as we cast our votes during a pandemic, I'll be at election board headquarters watching for any voting issues that may come up on election day.
On the air and on WANE.com. WANE 15 is your local election headquarters.
WANE 15 is your local election headquarters, bringing you live team coverage as the Vice President visited Fort Wayne from touchdown to takeoff.
In Indiana, we do two things really well. We make things and we grow things.
With an exclusive one-on-one interview.
I didn't want to miss talking to Wayne.
Plus, continuing coverage of our ongoing conversation with women voters and the unique story of a local barber. On air and on WANE.com. WANE 15, your local election headquarters.
It seems like it's become the rite of passage. If you want to get elected in Indiana, you got to go to Rex's barbershop.
How do you become a barber to the politicians? Rex Ottinger says it doesn't hurt if your shop is just steps away from Joseph DeQuee, a popular spot for political fundraisers.
I cut Dan Coates, Senator Dan Coates, and Mike Pence was here. Absolutely. Jim Banks was here, cut his hair. He and the governor, Governor Holcomb.
Which the governor still remembers.
The quality of the cut, because I've often said that throughout this pandemic, my hair looks like a crime scene. And it's just such almost a Norman Rockwell painting. And to be in, you know, Roanoke and it's almost like visual overload. And then to get a great haircut, it just kind of, not take you back in time, it just takes you to a better place.
After 61 years, Rex has learned a thing or two about cutting hair.
The secret to a good haircut is to get it the way the customer wants it.
And talking politics.
People are very adamant about their politics or their sports team. Sometimes it's just better to be a good listener than to talk too much.
Even with more than 500,000 haircuts given, Rex says there's still one political figure he wouldn't mind having in his chair.
I often think about what I would do with Donald Trump's hair. Well, you know, I would shorten the back, a side part, and maybe clean him up a little bit more. He's more in the 1970s look, and would probably bring him up to date a little.
And Rex wants to stress he can cut your hair no matter your politics.
Absolutely. I tell all my Democrat friends they're welcome to come in, you know, but as I say, it seems to be the rite of passage to the Republicans to come in and get their hair cut, and then they are elected to office and or re-elected.
When I was born, no women could vote.
Born in 1912 in Gas City, Indiana, Mary Price has seen a lot in the last 108 years.
Telephone, radio, TV, now outer space.
One of the most important changes in her lifetime, she says, women's right to vote. Mary was still a child when the 19th Amendment passed.
I see the first time I really voted in importance when I had gone to college. And then the full right that I had came to me. So we take pride in the ability to an integral part of your, not only your life, your family life, but the entire community.
Taking pride in being part of the community was one lesson she ingrained in her students. Mary taught in Ohio and Indiana for 50 years.
I've always said, like yourself and respect yourself. I don't mean the ego trip. I mean an individual who respects themselves as well as others.
This election, Mary mailed in her ballot, saying she's never seen the country so divided.
Not to the extent that we're getting divided now. I don't ever remember the community being as involved in the decision that's going to come about, that's happening now. This is wonderful.
As Mary reflects on a century of moments, her wedding day stands out.
My husband and I had a 10-year romance. He was going to medical school, and I taught. We couldn't afford to be married. So when I finally said I do, it was the most important moment in my life.
That I do led to 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 14 great-grandchildren.
I'm very proud of her and of her life. Has given so much to so many people. She knows who she is. She knows what she needs to do and how to contribute, and it has always done so joyfully.
A life full of pride in country, career, and family. Never missing a chance to smile along the way.
What would life be if you can't see the positive side? I can't imagine not finding life beautiful. Life's fun. It's a lot of fun, and I've had a prime life. I've had a wonderful life.